Hi folks, welcome to Rajesh Durbala Tutorials. I'm your instructor Rajesh Durbala, and today we are going to cover this important topic of important versus determinant service attributes. This is going to be an interesting knowledge ride, and I'm sure you would take away some important learnings from here. Now, these are the learning outcomes that we have. The one and only outcome is we would learn to distinguish between important and determinant attributes for segmentation, right? I hope you remember what is segmentation. Segmentation is the dividing of market, a heterogeneous market, into homogeneous subgroups. Okay, and I would be today trying to explain you what are the important attributes and what are the determinant attributes, and based on which how you can go ahead with segmentation, and to be precise in the services marketing. Going ahead, just to seek an example, what could be the determining factors for selecting a stay? I have selected two segments. One is for luxury travelers and one is for budget travelers. If I talk about the luxury travelers, okay, it could be number one, comfort. It could be number two, the food. Okay, number three, the amenities like the spa, gym, swimming pool, casino, clubs, right? So these are certain things that a luxury traveler would be looking for. What would be a budget traveler looking for? He may be looking for location, okay, the price, how cheap or how expensive it is, okay, and probably he may also be looking for the basic things like a clean toilet, a clean bed, okay, maybe probably the AC should be working, the Wi-Fi should be working, or the TV should be working. So these are certain things that would attract a budget traveler. Okay, can you see the different variations between these two segments, based on which they may decide which hotel to stay or which hotel to book? Likewise, if I see what are the important factors for both of these kind of travelers for selecting a stay, if we think about it, we would be surprised to know that both of them would be looking for something very similar. When it is very important, they would be looking for something similar. Similar in the sense, a luxury traveler may also be looking for safety. Likewise, even a budget traveler will also be looking for safety. So when it comes to an important factor, most of the time, whatever segment it is, they will be quite often looking for the same thing. Okay, so what makes the decision? Now, what factors differ in different segments of the customers? When it comes to economy or budget travelers, what are the important factors and what are the determining factors? And when it comes to luxury travelers, what are the important factors and determining factors? As we have seen, the important factors are the same. That is probably safety or comfort or cleanliness, hygiene. But when it comes to determining factors, there are plenty of things, right? The economy traveler would be more emphasized on budget. But when it comes to the luxury traveler, they may be looking for amenities, okay, the kind of facilities, the kind of status, okay, the kind of luxury. And based on these, they take decisions. Now, let us try to understand the service attributes and levels. Now, first and foremost, what we need to do, okay, how to develop the right service concept for a specific segment. First and foremost, we need to have extensive research to understand which attributes of a given service are important to the specific market segment. Okay, what are important? When I say important, what are those things which are important, really important? Like we have seen, like safety, comfort, where something very important, hygiene, important. When we are choosing a university, let us say, what is important? Degree, education, right? And then you have to see individuals may set different priorities according to the purpose of using the service. Why do they need the service? Okay, now am I booking a hotel for a business purpose, for a meeting purpose? I have gone for a vacation, holiday, or I just need a place to stay because I had some important work in a town or a city. It also makes who makes the decision, right? Many a times when you are making a decision, you may be looking for a budget option, but when your company is booking a hotel for you, they may be considering the pride of the company, the image of the company, and they may be booking in a luxurious place. Okay, and the timing of use, that also is important, right? If I'm using the thing just to stay at night, okay, I need a place to sleep. The kind of a hotel I would be booking or the kind of a stay I would be looking for would be different. But if I've gone for a vacation, okay, then again the entire thing would change. Whether service is used alone or with a group. If I'm going alone, I would be happy to stay in a dormitory probably or in a hostel. But if I'm traveling with my family, I would require much better amenities. Okay. And then again, composition of that group also is important. If we have a group of only men, probably our decision making would differ. But if the composition of the group consists of both men and women, males and females, then the decision making criteria would change. Fine. Likewise, now let us understand what is important versus determinant attributes. As we have seen, consumers usually choose between alternative service offerings based on perceived differences between them. I have option A and option B. I would select option A over option B based on the perceived differences I have between both of them. And most often, surprisingly, you would see that the attributes that distinguish competing services from one another are not necessarily the important ones. They are usually the determinant ones. Important ones, try to understand. They are more or less the same provided by any competitor, number one. Number two, the important attributes are always the same for any segment. But what actually differentiates are the determinant attributes. Okay, and the determinant attributes determine the buyer's choice between competing alternatives. Now, I have certain alternatives, and these are the determinant attributes which help me to pick one among them. Now, service characteristics that are important to the purchasers, okay, and sometimes the consumer sees significant differences between competing alternatives on these attributes. When I compare the attributes of two, okay, when I see the determinant attributes, there I see a lot of difference, okay, maybe the infrastructure, the surrounding, the ambience, okay, the amenities. These are the things that are strikingly different. But if I say I provide you safety and comfort, how would I compare? I cannot, right? So those important things will not help me take a buying decision. But those determinant factors, okay, these are the factors which help a consumer to differentiate and make a buying decision. Now, establishing the service levels. Now, when we are talking about the service levels, the level of performance the firm plans to offer on each attribute. I have decided various attributes. Okay, let it be comfort, let it be safety, let it be ambience, and all those things. Okay, now the level at which I wish to deliver this service, okay, this attribute. Number one, it has to be easily quantified attribute, right? I could say like the speed, like you can say FedEx, okay, or DHL. They talk about the speed of delivery. Okay, Amazon says 1 day delivery. That is a quantified attribute. Okay, and then you also have the physical dimensions. When we are talking about the physical dimensions, that also is a very, like let us say some universities, they say we have a 600-acre campus. Now they are talking about the physical dimension. Okay, a hotel with 500 presidential suites. This is an imaginary number, of course, but I'm just telling you, this gives you a physical dimension. Okay, a hospital with 500 beds. When I say that number, when I'm quantifying, I'm giving you that physical dimension. Okay, and then the qualitative attributes. Sometimes these qualitative attributes, they become very, very difficult to compare, but they are left to individual interpretations. Okay, now for instance, let us say there are some Volvo bus services, for instance, like Karnataka's, okay, Karnataka KRTC or something, yeah, KRTC. They run an Volvo bus service called Airavat, and over there it's written, their tagline is "Sleep like a baby." Now, when they say sleep like a baby, they are talking about the comfort. But again, that comfort is left to individual interpretation. Many a times, even in those hotels which say the most comfortable bed, probably I may not be able to sleep in those comfortable beds because I'm used to sleeping in some other kind of a bed. So that physical comfort becomes very, it is left to individual interpretations. You must have gone to, movie theaters where they boast about the different kind of sound systems they use. Some days, some say Dolby DTS, some say Atmos and all, Quebec. Okay, so when they are using this, I hardly am able to differentiate between them. For me, everything sounds the same, but the company is trying to provide you that service, and these, when they are advertising that we have the Quebec audio system or Dolby Digital, these are certain qualitative attributes which are left to individuals' interpretation. And we can often segment customers according to the willingness to trade off price versus service. Okay, I'm willing to trade off price, like I'm okay, not bothered about price if I'm getting a brilliant service. On the other hand, I may be willing to go away or do away with some service if I get some concession on the price. Okay, so we could say there are two segments. One is price insensitive customers, one is price sensitive customers. When I say price insensitive, that means the customer is willing to pay a relative high price if I am willing to give him high levels of service. On the flip side, a price sensitive customer would like to do away or go, he can do away with some service if he can get some concession on some price, right? When I'm booking some hotel rooms on OYO, if I can get some concession on the room rents, I'm willing to forego the complimentary breakfast. Okay, so I'm a price sensitive customer, right? Now going ahead, like just see, I can get a coffee here in the left side of the picture. I can get a coffee at Starbucks as well. Okay, now the point is, a price insensitive customer would definitely like to visit Starbucks, where he is willing to pay you more for getting that world class service, world class ambience, free Wi-Fi. Okay, but a price sensitive customer is more interested in the coffee. I can have the coffee. Okay, I'm more interested in the coffee, and I can forego some price if I can get that coffee. Okay, I'm not worried about the service. Okay, I can forego the service if I get some discount or rebate or concession on the price. I hope you found this session to be useful. If so, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Spread the good word about it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Have a nice day.